Should you play Dragon's Dogma 2 right now that it's fresh out of the gate? And I think that you should if you love action RPG games. It is a very solid action RPG. However, it does have the same launch issues that many other games are launching with these days, which means there's performance issues, it's missing some quality of life features, there's some jank here and there, and these are things that Capcom has already stated that they are in the process of patching. They've already dropped one patch. I think they call it patch launch title patch. I can't remember the name of it, but they've already done one patch for all platforms. It came out originally for the PC and PlayStation like a few days before the Xbox version, but the Xbox version came out the other day, so now all the first patch is out across the board. But they are continuing to patch things like for performance and etc. So that's the short answer. The short answer is that you absolutely should play the game if you are a big fan of action RPG games. Now, outside of that, there is a greater, more in-depth answer that I can give, which I wrote in a comment this morning, and it prompted me to want to make this video, which is the people who are wanting to know, should I play it right now or should I wait? So I think this is a great conversation to have, not just around Dragon's Dogma 2, but around games as a general rule. I tend to stay away from early access titles specifically because I don't like to play games that have a lot of jank and bugs and issues. However, most games these days are launching in some form of early access slash buggy, janky state. Dragon's Dogma 2 is not an early access title, but I bring that up for the purpose of the conversation. So the greater answer that I gave in the YouTube comment this morning was, should you play the game right now? And I said, it depends. Are you a content creator or are you someone who is a diehard fan of the franchise or a diehard fan of action RPGs? If you fit into one of those categories, then you should absolutely play the game now. It has a $70 price tag, which is a chunk. And for a lot of people, that's not, they're budgeting. I don't go out and spend, I don't buy five $70 games per month. Even as a content creator, I don't do that because it's just ludicrous to think about spending that kind of money on games that you're only going to play for, let's say arguably 2 weeks. Now, I say that because as someone who is a full-time content creator, it's worth it to me to spend the $70 on a game like this because A, it's good for the channel in terms of traffic, which means I get paid for it, and B, I will get at least a month of good content. I'm already like 2 weeks in, and we are starting to see the numbers trickle down, which is normal. I've talked about this in videos in the past that for my channel in particular, I get about 2 weeks around the launch of any given game before people want to move on to the next thing, or they already have. Like I think a lot of people are already off onto like Stellar Blade or whatever, the one that's got like the super realistic skin suit chick with the huge boobs who just that bounce around because of the fittings and the ass that's in your face all the time. I know that's like the new hot one that everybody's already off to, but I'm still playing Dragon's Dogma 2 and farming it for content and outrage clicks because a lot of people, for some reason, this game has got a lot of people up in arms about certain things. So if you're a content creator, yes, I think it's worth spending the $70 to play it now because there's a lot of content you're going to get out of this. There's all the vocations you could make guides around. There are all of the boss fights that you can have in the game. There are all of the tips and tricks and hidden caves and things that make good content for the internet, whether you're YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, wherever you are as a content creator. There's a lot of good content in this game to be farmed. Now, if you are just a normal gamer who doesn't really play action RPGs, and you just like to play good games and maybe you like to focus on a few hot titles of the year, I would wait on this one. I would wait until they fix the performance issues and add some quality of life stuff in and fix some of the jank because there are those things exist in this game. They exist in every game that launches. It is what it is. And it's a good game, but it's not a game you should be rushing out to spend $70 on unless you just can't wait. Because I would say that if you're the average gamer who isn't necessarily an action RPG fan, you could probably wait. Wait 6 months for all the patches to come. Some people have said wait until there's a sale. I mean, you could wait until there's a sale. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I wait. Like, here's a good example. When it came out, I was too busy playing lots of other games And I just told myself whenever it comes out on discount at some point down the road, I'll get it, which is Hogwarts Legacy. I was in the middle of an actual play series for Starfinder when Hogwarts Legacy came out, and we had just moved into the new house, and I was like, I don't have the bandwidth to do that right now, so I'm not gonna go spend $70 on Hogwarts Legacy because I'm probably only gonna be able to play it like once a week, and I'm not gonna be able to create any content around it because we were in that process of moving and everything else, and settling into the new home. So it was like if I'm gonna play Hogwarts Legacy, I'm gonna wait. And it came up the other day. I almost bought it and I didn't because I don't have room in my schedule right now, but it was on sale for like $35. I was like, that's half off. That's totally worth spending, the money on to get it and have it in my library, maybe to play later. And then I just forgot about it. And I probably should have grabbed it for 35 bucks. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand, but it'll be on sale later on down the road, so I'm not too worried about it. Plus, with Dragon's Dogma 2, they're going to do a DLC at some point. So I don't know that you necessarily want to wait until there's a DLC, but it's one of those things where, if you're on the fence about it, you're better off just waiting. Like I said, it's really only worth the $70 price tag if you're a content creator, or if you've loved Elden Ring and you're like looking for the next action RPG, like Not Enough Life of P, Lies of P, whatever it was called. I need the next action RPG. Then this is probably going to be a good choice for you. There are caveats to all these conversations, though, so I would urge you to do your due diligence. Make sure to watch a bunch of reviews. I know some people are giving it glowing praise, think that it's game of the year. I don't. I think it was a great game in aspects, but it's not it wasn't like an excellent game. It's a good game that has great components, but it's plagued by things like no 60 frame per second mode. You're locked to 30 frames. The performance was pretty miserable on some people's machines. I played it on the PS5, didn't really have an issue, but I did switch to the locked 30 frames as opposed to the variable 30 frames as soon as that was available in the first patch, and it has definitely smoothed performance overall when it comes to like the cities and those environments. So that's those are some things to think about. I do think it's a fun game. I do think it's worth it for the reasons I stated. But if you're not doing this for a living and you've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to play as an example, or you want to play Stellar Blade or whatever it's called, there are lots. That's the thing. Like there are lots of $70 AAA titles that drop every single month these days, as that becomes the new price point. And for people who are gaming on a budget, you have to make decisions about what's going to be best for you. If you're more of an RPG fan than an action combat fan, then Final Fantasy VII might be more to your style, because that's another recent release that has a big price tag, but it's also a very good game. You could watch playthroughs here on my channel if you want. There's so much stuff to play is the problem. The Helldivers 2 is still taking the world by storm, and it's been out for like 2 months or whatever. So I mean, but that's a $40 purchase, right? I can't remember what that one costs. I know it's not 70. I think it's either 40 or 50. Anyway, should you play Dragon's Dogma 2? Yes, you absolutely should, for all the reasons I stated. Otherwise, just wait until it's on sale or they've done the quality of life patches and play it 6 months down the road. It's not going anywhere, and the world's not going to end because you didn't play it today. But it was fun. I had fun during my initial playthrough. I'm still playing it, a few times a week, going on New Game Plus mode, trying out all these vocations and stuff. And I would imagine that, if the DLC comes out, 2 years down the road or something, I might try it out. You never know. Like I'm waiting on the DLC for Starfield right now, and I played the DLC for Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty was awesome, and who knows what they'll pull off with the DLC here. I know a lot of people loved the DLC for the first game, so Capcom has some big shoes to fill, and I think they're up to it. So, yeah. For more of the same, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Playlists are down below. There's a Patreon and a Discord, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Don't forget, daily streams here and on Twitch.